as struggle for supremacy. Follow the market from the opening of trading to the closing bell. Stop the market every Saturday, only on Channels Television.
Time now for some business news. For the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria has urged charity and others for not-for-profit organizations to register with it before the end of this year.
Addressing journalists in Lagos, the Chief Executive Officer of the Council, Mr. Osayande, said that since the registration started in 2011, the number of organizations so far registered is not encouraging. He, however, vowed to sanction defaulters starting from next year.
Remarks why we are here, and then we will question.
For instance, companies that have aircraft, who will advise on the number of years, discover that the company secretary will have to register with us. You will see the registration number FROC/2011 or 20 his number.
Now, some of the international energy companies are kicking against some aspects of the petroleum industry in Nigeria. They believe that may result in a 25% drop in oil production by 2022. At a meeting with Nigerian lawmakers in Abuja, Mr. Mark Ward, who represented a group of energy companies in Nigeria, said the proposed terms would lead to an output decline of more than 500,000 barrels of oil per day. The Petroleum Industry Bill, or PIB, is aimed at increasing the country's share of profit from oil pumped off its shores. Also speaking at the meeting, Minister of Petroleum, Desiani Alison Madueke, said the bill is to reform the way Nigeria's oil and gas industry is regulated and funded, and proposes to boost the government's share of revenue to at least 73% from 61% currently. The new law will take at least 3 years after it's passed by the Parliament before it becomes operational. Meanwhile, a parliamentary committee of the House of Representatives is of the opinion that Nigeria should revoke oil rights for which Royal Dutch Shell plc and Denny paid $1.1 billion, alleging that the acquisition process has been highly flawed. According to a probe report filed by the committee, Shell and ENI jointly bought oil prospecting license estimated to hold at least 9 billion barrels of crude reserves worth $1 trillion. The report shows the sale violates the law to promote increased Nigerian ownership of oil assets by giving foreign companies 100% ownership, as well as the country's tax regulations. And Brent crude oil rose to $109 per barrel today after encouraging economic data and a sharp decline in U.S. crude stockpiles signaled stronger demand for fuel in the world's top oil consumer. That bullish combination has helped push U.S. crude, commonly called West Texas Intermediate, to a 16-month high, narrowing its discount to Brent to 80 cents from more than $23 in February. Brent crude last rose to 0.4% to $109 per barrel, while U.S. light sweet crude rose 0.5% to $108 per barrel.
On to the foreign scene, the police are investigating after one of the two men accused of murdering Lee Rigby outside the Woolwich barracks in May had been allegedly assaulted in Belmarsh prison. It is understood that Michael Adebolajo of Romford in East London lost 2 front teeth in Wednesday's alleged attack, and no arrests have been made.
The Old Bailey trial of Mr. Adebolajo and co-accused Michael Adebowale from Greenwich, South East London has been set for the 18th of November. Mr. Adebolajo is also accused of the attempted murder of 2 police officers and possession of a firearm with intent to cause others to believe that violence would be used. A prison service spokesperson said the police are investigating the incident which took place at Belmarsh on the 17th of July.
On Thursday, July the 18th, the whole world honored former South African President Nelson Mandela, who spent his 95th birthday in the hospital in Pretoria. The anti-apartheid leader has been critically ill with a recurring lung infection since June the 8th. However, South African President Jacob Zuma, who visited Mr. Mandela in hospital, said he was encouraged by his progress. Our correspondent, Betty Dibia, who's in South Africa, gives us an update of how South Africans celebrated Mandela Day.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tata. Happy birthday to you.
No tribute can be bigger than this for anybody living or dead. As Dr. Nelson Mandela spends his 95th birthday in hospital, he's inspiring a sense of oneness in history, South Africa. One of the early callers at the hospital today was the president of the nation, Jacob Zuma. Asked about the elder statesman's current state of health, the defense minister says the government and his family are far less anxious about it now.
What is good, which all of us should appreciate, is the work that has been done by our team of doctors. It is the fact that Madiba has responded in such an incredible manner, so positively, to everything that was being done to him.
As the country, community projects are going on and people are given 67 minutes and more of their time to make life a lot better for those who are disadvantaged. Mandela's friend since the 1940s and fellow prisoner Ahmed Kathrada says he hopes the younger generation will take the good works beyond this day.
Our biggest challenge is ignorance among young people. They must also remember that with freedom came responsibility. It is their responsibility to educate themselves in every direction so that they can provide expertise, the skills in everything. In order for the country to go forward, you've got to have education.
It's the 4th year of the International Nelson Mandela Day, and all it tells people is to take a stand and inspire change wherever they find themselves, not just on the 18th of July, which is his birthday, but towards making every single day Mandela Day. From the Pretoria Heart Hospital, South Africa, I am Betty Dibia reporting for Channel Television News.
In sports news, the Nigerian basketball club Customs have frowned at the congested fixtures in the current league season.
Our chief coach of the club, Scott Nagy, told Channels Television that playing 4 games in a week could undermine the performance of the teams. Customs have won 9 games out of 25 played so far, thereby easing their relegation fears.
Struggle for us. We are not used to this back-to-back, and we really don't have a training ground. And with the rains, time to time, we don't have enough place to go to train. And so many of the players get injuries, and when you are playing back-to-back, you play today, tomorrow, if somebody has injury, you have to look for a replacement. And most of them always have that problem. But it has been good. We have stood up to the task, and we are still striving to stay.
In football, Super Eagles chief coach Stephen Keshi has taken a swipe at football enthusiasts who roundly criticize his team selection. Keshi told Channels Television that criticisms meant to make his team a bit more stronger and better accepted. Well, he pleaded with the media to support his rebuilding agenda in the senior national team.
The good thing is most of the attacking players are